Hi there and welcome to LDC CoreTools demonstration video number 6. In this screencast, we'll explore the LDC Minitask Library, which is a repository of literacy assignments that can be accessed in the instructional planning part of the collaborative module designer. For a general introduction to CoreTools, please see demo video number 1 on our website, as well as other videos about additional topics. Over the last few years, several of our partners and countless numbers of teachers who use LDC have recognized that in addition to the central necessity of designing a rigorous Common Core aligned teaching task to ensure student learning in an LDC module, the use of well-designed literacy mini-tasks in the What Instruction section is also important. While teachers are encouraged to design their own mini-tasks or to build them from LDC prototypes, some have expressed interest in building and contributing to a bank of vetted teacher-created mini-tasks. The idea is that teachers could search such a bank and then pull a mini-task along with its resources into their module to either use as is for a particular skill or adapt it to make it appropriate for their content and for their students. Our partners at UC Berkeley and at New Visions for Public Schools spearheaded this concept and contributed greatly to the mini-task library's design and initial collection of mini-tasks. At the present time, there are about 50 mini-tasks in the library, but this will grow rapidly. Now that the Minitask library is fully integrated into CoreTools, LDC will encourage teachers, coaches, and our partners to submit their best mini-tasks to the library. Similar to the exemplary module collection, LDC wishes to recognize effective and excellent teacher work and to leverage that work for the benefit of all of our teachers and our students. So let's take a quick look at a sample module I've loaded into CoreTools here and see how the Minitask library works and how a teacher can make use of it. So what you're seeing here is I've already built out in this module section 2, what skills. I've gone from skill cluster to skill cluster and built out and named and defined all the skills, and I've sequenced them to help my students address the teaching task of this module. So the next thing to do, of course, is to add instruction. And to do that, I'm going to quickly demonstrate for you how the Minitask library can play a role in that as an option. So first, just to make very clear the different ways in which skills are added, I'm going to add 2 additional skills to the current list that's already here. So in the reading skills cluster, I press add skill. So I have this option up here of using a drop-down, and these are suggested names of skills that LDC sees as commonly used in its modules, but I can name a skill on my own, which we'll do in a second. For now, I'm going to choose one from the drop-down. I find over here active reading, note-taking, which comes with a hardwired definition that I can edit. I'm just going to go with that definition. I'm going to add that skill. So now I'm going to add another skill by naming my own skill. So this time, instead of using the dropdown, I'm just going to start typing in the name of the skill that I want. And I'm going to give it my own definition. And I've added that skill. So I have the flexibility to add whatever kinds of skills I want based on my module and my students. So obviously, the most generic way of creating a mini-task is to generate one from scratch. I could click Add Mini-Task to this note-taking skill and just click Create New Mini-Task, and the mini-task editor pops up, and I create my mini-task here. If I'd started my module from a prototype template, I might already have some LDC prototype mini-tasks in here that I could build from as well. Those are the well-known ways in which teachers build their mini-tasks and all of their instruction for their modules. But what we're going to do is we're going to search the mini-task library to see if we can find some good mini-tasks that are currently in that bank of mini-tasks and add them to a couple of skills here. So let's start with questioning. There's active reading questioning skill named and defined here. So we'll click Add Mini-Task, but instead of just clicking Create New, we're going to go Find Existing Mini-Task in the mini-task library. So what pops up is the mini-task library. This is a pop-up that will have search capabilities and list over here mini-tasks that meet certain criteria. So because I use one of the pre-filled in drop-down skills in this module, active reading, questioning, the mini-task library automatically suggested for me any mini-task it could find that met that particular skill name. So there's just one, and it says here 4 questioning techniques. I can click on it and add it to my instruction by clicking Add Select Mini-Task after I've selected it. So once it's there, I can now take a look at it to see, is this actually going to be a useful mini-task for the work I want my students to do? It has a product and prompt, a full scoring guide, a set of instructional strategies, and even an attachment here that I can open and preview and see if it's appropriate for what I want to be doing. So I could use this mini task as is for this skill if I so chose. Maybe I would make sure I go ahead and add some pacing here, but I can make any edits as well. Maybe the prompt needs to be reworded for my students a little bit. I might adjust the scoring guide. I might definitely change the instructional strategies a little bit, and maybe I change the attachment as well, the handout that students are going to get. But the point is, a teacher will have a mini task that another teacher has used for a very similar skill. So it serves as a very good starting point for a teacher to create an excellent mini task that actually teaches a skill. Now, there are cases where you might load a mini test like this and it would be usable as is for your module, and that's definitely all the better. But I've saved it, and now that is something that's in my collection. So based on the fact that I chose from a skill that's one of the suggested skills in LDC CoreTools Module Designer, let's take a look at the skill I named down here, this manually entered skill. Since I'm going to search the mini task library still, I'm going to click Add Mini Task and find existing mini task. This time it's not filtering by any preset skill over here. It's showing me all the mini tasks that exist in the LDC mini task library, and there are several pages of these skills. And you can see as you go on and on, what you always get is a preview of the name of the product the students will complete and the prompt that the students will get, and then I'd have to add it to see more about it there. But I can still filter manually here. I can choose different skills that maybe make sense at this point for me to filter for. So I'll go through here and see if anything might make sense for me. And maybe I will find a mini task that way. I go and I look at some speaking and active listening skills. Maybe I look at gathering evidence. But this helps me reduce the number of mini tasks I'm going to see in the mini task library. Now I can go back up and see all skills once again. It's no problem. Or I can filter by Common Core anchor standards for reading and writing. The 10 Common Core anchor standards for reading and 10 Common Core anchor standards for writing are currently filters we can use here. So I can filter for reading standard number 2, and it's only going to show me mini tasks that address that Common Core anchor standard. So finally, I can also just do a free text search up here. So maybe I type in Cornell. Maybe I'm looking for Cornell notes, and lo and behold, there they are, Cornell notes. Maybe I'm looking, again, thinking about the previous skill, looking for mini tasks that have to do with questioning, and I see several that the keyword questioning comes up in. So there's a number of ways to search this bank, and as I mentioned, once you decide you have found a mini task that you like and you want to add to your instruction, just click Select and then Add, and it appears in your instructional plan section with everything preloaded for you and attachments all included. And again, the teacher can go ahead and make any edits or additions that they want. So once more, the goal of this will be over the coming months to build out this mini task library even much more greatly than it is right now based on great teacher work that comes in to the system through CoreTools. But hopefully this is a good enough introduction now to get you started on using the mini task library if that's an option you would like to go with. So thanks a lot for watching.